Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 of this regional pod of the NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship Tournament. San Antonio has 300 days of sunshine a year, and 2 of the other 65 have been the last 2 days here with nothing but pouring rain in South Texas. And so it is a wet and windy night here in San Antonio. Our broadcast angles will be slightly different tonight than last night based on the conditions. Just want to give you that disclaimer ahead of time. But welcome in, great to have you with us. Very exciting matchup tonight between the host Trinity University Tigers and the Occidental Tigers. My name is Callum Squires, and alongside me is the honorable former Trinity great and former Trinity coach, Chesley Hendricks Farmer IV. CH, great to have you with us. Thanks for doing this tonight.
Thank you, Callum. It is an absolute honor to be here tonight.
A big game. Occidental, first time in the NCAA tournament, their first victory in the NCAA tournament ever last night. A scrappy 2-1 affair over the University of St. Thomas from Houston. It took until the 89th minute for Uri Jane to give Occidental the lead. They only led the game for about a minute and 15 seconds, but it was enough. And they knocked off the Celts, coming from behind to do so, and advance to the round of 32, where they face the hometown Tigers of Trinity. This Tiger derby will be hotly contested. The Californians against the Texans. Trinity had to scrap, had to go all the way to a penalty shootout to eliminate the University of Texas at Dallas last night. 16 perfect penalties until the unfortunate miss of Hesse. The UT Dallas goalkeeper allowed Shen Aji to create the moment that has basically gone viral amongst Division III soccer circles with his chipped penalty down the center of the goal to decide the shootout after what was a fantastically entertaining 2-2 draw. And as you see the Tigers of Trinity there, I'm going to have to specify which Tigers I'm talking about all night, CH. But as you see Trinity getting ready to break their huddle, we are seconds away from the resumption of the Division III NCAA tournament here in San Antonio. And CH, you played in games like this. What's the hardest part of a second game of a weekend, knowing that the prize is the Sweet 16? We know the winner of this will face Amherst in the Sweet 16. What's so difficult about getting this second win in consecutive days?
Well, to me, it's the 24-hour back-to-back, right? So when we play in our regular season, you have 48 hours. So it's a Friday, Sunday sort of calendar, as you know. Mm-hmm. But in these sort of knockout stages, you have to get up and down and then back up again so quickly that it's a lot. And I know these boys are only 18 to 22, maybe even some 23 in the odd circumstance. But the biggest thing is just you have to get yourself way back up as soon as possible. And it's a tough thing to do, especially if you've played most of these Trinity boys, like more than 90 minutes for most of them. So
it's definitely difficult, and fatigue will surely be an issue tonight. I'm sure we will see the Tigers of Trinity use more players than we did last night, where only a couple of subs were in action. But we are underway here as Vicente Navarro's first pass evades Carr, but Stanley is there to sweep it up. And the Tiger derby is underway. Early ball forward towards Jane, headed away, and Knutson gets his first touch. He was fantastic last night for Trinity. This is Will Powell on the right-hand side, and his ball is slightly awry. We can tell you that both teams are unchanged from last night's starting 11, which is a little bit remarkable, I'd say. You know, both teams won their games, want to find some continuity, but considering the conditions here, heavy field, tired legs, we will certainly see how quickly both teams go to shuffle their pack with their benches as this goes on throughout the night. We'll run you through both lineups in just a second here, but Michael Meese and Will Powell are combining nicely on the right wing. Powell's forced back, but Louis Instraw, very skillful English midfielder, brings it forward and wins a throw-in for the Tigers of Trinity. So speaking of Trinity, we'll start with Austin Willman in goal, Jack Eubank, Peter Blank, and JC Rule, a back three. Wing-backs of Will Powell on the right and Jesus Veloz, I nearly said Osvaldo, Jesus Veloz on the left. Midfield three, Joe Curry, alongside Louis Instraw and Adam Knudsen at the point of that triangle as the number 10, with the dangerous duo of Michael Mies and Shen Adji, the hero from last night's shootout, up front. We'll go through Occidental's lineup in just a second here as Janet does his defensive duty and finds Navarro. Slip from Veloz allows Carr to control, and it'll certainly be interesting to see how the footing holds up with all the rain that has happened here in San Antonio. That's released for Chmielewski, faced up by Eubank down this right-hand side, and Carr continues to drive inside. Curry able to come away with it, but Max Stanley puts a nice tackle in there. Free kick, potentially, no, throw in for the Occidental Tigers down that right-hand side. Stanley was great last night against St. Thomas, and high press early here from Occidental, not willing to let the Tigers of Trinity play out from the back. Occidental have Riley Nyhan in goal, and then the back three, back four that we'll talk about in just a second here. Chance for Ailey, and that one's hacked away by JC Rule. So the back four, Howlett at left, Romero and Karp, the centre-back pairing with Stanley on the right. Navarro playing in the 6 at the base of a diamond in midfield. I'll cut this off as Knudsen's driving through the midfield. Navarro facing up with him, and that's out to the right-hand side where Will Powell can be found. Adji's in the middle, headed away by Karp, only as far as Knudsen. And that's a sliding interception there from Romero, which was definitely needed. Tigers pressuring early on here. Janet and Eubank renewing hostilities. And Rule able to settle it down. Finish off the lineup here for Occidental with Schwartz, Ailey, Janet, and Chmielewski filling out kind of the attacking positions. Janet scoring the winner last night. CH, pretty intense start here, bit scrappy. Your thoughts on the opening 3 minutes?
Well, I think you can tell that both teams are extremely talented, and now it's a matter of feeling each other out, seeing where the opponent's weak spots might be. However, it seems both teams are extremely technical, which is extremely important in these matchups. Now, I think what is interesting and will be interesting for us to watch is that diamond in midfield for Occidental is potentially dangerous for Trinity, just in terms of a numbers matchup, but we'll have to wait and see.
Trinity deploying a 3-5-2 formation from the start here. They did switch to a 4-3-3 as things went on against UT Dallas last night. Janet combining with Chmielewski down the wing, but Instraw is able to settle it down and weave his way through a couple of would-be tacklers. Austin Willman called into action to clear that one away. Mies tries to get a flick on, but is unable to do so. And here's the dangerous Schwartz, who was at the heart of everything good for them last night. Willman off his line. He spilled it, though, and it's actually adjudged to be fouled there by Ailey. Thought that one was potentially a little bit soft.
It was well played. Well played from Occidental.
Oxy creating probably the most dangerous moment of the first 5 minutes so far. Willman out to the right-hand side where Will Powell is found. Instraw into Knudsen, and Powell pressured by Navarro, and that'll be a throw-in for Trinity. And see, it's just to go back to that point on the numbers disadvantage. The diamond in midfield means that sometimes you lack width, but with the wingbacks like Stanley able to provide that, Oxy can still create. But that gives them a 4-against-2 matchup in the middle against Trinity's 3-5-2.
Right, right. And so, obviously, as we both know, and for everyone watching at home, it's in the engine room in the middle of the midfield is where you tend to win and lose games. And so the advantage to having more numbers in the middle obviously tends to create more possession. However, it tends to leave you more vulnerable on the outsides, which is where Trinity definitely likes to attack. We'll just have to see how it tends to play itself out.
Adji trying to use his pace down this left-hand side, but well marshaled there by Evan Karp. Karp was very solid last night and seems to be the more ball playing of the two centre-backs for Occidental.
Absolutely.
Between himself and Romero. Stanley trying to direct traffic for this throw-in. Down the line towards Janet. Can't control it, and Eubank hooks it clear as the rain continues to fall here in a dreary San Antonio. Karp under pressure from Adji, and that'll be a throw-in for Trinity down this left-hand side. Adji's pace in behind such a threat.
Has to be.
Veloz. under pressure from Chmielewski. Curry helps it on towards Knudsen. Swings it all the way across with a driven pass to Will Powell. That quick switch is on. We'll talk a little bit more about field conditions as this half goes on, but certainly this left-hand side of this half that you're looking at right now, very boggy in places. Wonder how the footing will affect. And
very much, man.
CH, with your history of being a defender, in slippy conditions, do you feel like that favors you as a defender, or is that something that worries you and gives the offensive players the advantage?
It's absolutely worrisome, especially if you look at the Trinity field. It's definitely sloping towards the left-hand side, the street hand side behind us. So there's going to be a lot of maybe not standing water, but it's going to be slippery. And as a former defender, that is not something you look forward to.
I used to love it.
I'm sure you
Looking
did.
for goals.
I'm sure you did, buddy.
Knudsen finds Instraw. Schwartz able to poke that one away, and Instraw can't control as Chmielewski has Giannet to his left, but that just slips off the edge of Giannet. And should say, considering the conditions, not a bad crowd here in San Antonio. Students usually late arriving, and certainly have been tonight, probably staying dry and watching the Dallas Cowboys victory for as long as they possibly could before making their way down to McGinley Field. Romero clears that one. Instraw gets his head on it. Curry, though, can't do the same, and Chmielewski wins the second ball. Carr looking for Giannet over the top. Rule has to go back and does so well to head that back to Willman. Really nice body shape and defending there from JC Rule.
I'll tell you what, Callum, just one quick thing. Oh.
Go ahead, go ahead.
The Occidental midfield has done very well with their intricate passing. It's been relatively short, relatively simple. However, it's yielded definitely the more of the dangerous opportunities so far.
Absolutely. And that diamond that we spoke about, looking dangerous early on here in San Antonio. Stanley will take this throw in down the right-hand side. Questioning look to a couple of his teammates, and Chmielewski accidentally knocked that one off his right foot onto his left knee and out of play. That one's into Curry, who takes it accidentally off his chest, and that one probably is going to go the way of Occidental. I think a deflection on that attempted clearance. As we get a view of just how wet it is, with towels strewn all over our scorers table here in San Antonio. Again, 300 days of sunshine a year. What can you guarantee in November? Rain. Every single year.
No doubt, brother.
Never a dry NCAA tournament in San Antonio, it seems. Karp looking to lob that one over Powell, but Powell retreats well and deflects it away from Howlett. Schwartz on his right foot. Rule intercepts well, but Chmielewski and Ailey combine to nick it back. But nothing doing on that through ball, and Willman is quickly off his line. Certainly in games like this, you know, it can come down to just a single moment of greatness or a single moment of madness that can decide it. And, you know, we saw that last night in the game between Occidental and St. Thomas.
Yeah.
Looked to be headed for extra time and potentially a penalty shootout as that one skips out of play. But Uri Giannet capitalized when the St. Thomas defenders seemed to stop and planted one in the bottom corner of Otero's goal. And that allowed the Celts to get through. And so much of these games, CH, is concentration, right? You know,
yeah.
Finding the opportunity and being able to take it when it comes your way.
Absolutely. And I think especially in these knockout stage games, one of the most important things is just it's finishing. It's attention to detail. It's attention to all the things you've done throughout the season. And then now it becomes so much more magnified because, you know, as we both know, it's now win or go home.
What a tackle from Peter Blank there.
Absolutely. And now every single thing you do is magnified. Balls given away, tackles won, tackles lost. Everything is magnified just based on the situation.
The pressure of the moment is hard to quantify in words, basically. Down the line, that one goes. Meese unable to get there. Instraw will try and cut it off from Howlett, who scoops it forward, and Rule, as he so often does with his magnetic forehead, seemingly wins every header in the air. feel like he hasn't lost one in his entire career here at Trinity.
Indeed.
He just wins everything in the air. I don't know how else to say it.
He's a magnet.
He's unbelievable in the air, JC Rule. Schwartz will take this throw in, and Schwartz was someone I was really impressed with last night, CH. I think he really pulls the string for this Occidental attack.
He does. You're 1,000,000% right.
That left foot can be dangerous, and he's shown that he's got the talent to use both feet, in actual fact, really. Romero, the centre-back, looks for Carr, but that one's overhit, and can Adji pressure him? It's had a long way to try and cover that, but Adji's forcing Karp back, and that's a good piece of pressing from Adji to get the Tigers the ball back. Eubank looks to try and find Adji, but Karp is able to intercept, and Stanley plays it away from Veloz. That's
He's
Carr.
done well there, Karp.
Very well. Carr inside, and there's space for Ailey. He has Schwartz to his left, and Chmielewski making a run in the channel. Schwartz will take a shot on. Willman parries it out. Does well, actually, to make sure that doesn't go too far outside his sphere. Long way out, but worth a try in these wet conditions.
I guess so. Fantastic effort.
Schwartz, as we said, potentially one of the most dangerous players in this Occidental attack, and Austin Willman, with his first real test, the first shot on goal of this game, wasn't able to hold it cleanly, but stopped it from going in the net. And as you see Knutson there with a slip, that just emphasizes just how slippy the conditions are here in San Antonio, and you really hope for both teams' sake that a slip isn't what decides this game. That was a great ball in and well dealt with by Jack Eubank. Knutson here has recovered his feet and looks to try and set up a Tiger counter-attack. Mies does well to hold off Romero and keep the ball on his chest. Curry with a wonderful first touch. That's great close control. And he drives looking for Shen Adji, but the pass went outside when Adji ran inside. But a lot of turnovers quickly here as both teams try and counter on one another, and footing is absolutely a problem here inside the first 15 minutes.
Callum, I know coming from England, it's very common for you all to wear metal studs, but I know, especially growing up in Texas, that it's very uncommon for us. And I just wonder, would this be the night potentially for maybe both of these sides to think about something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, my worry is that one's hacked away well by Blank. My question is whether these players actually own metal studs, honestly. You know, certainly I can't speak to playing in California out west where Occidental are, but from what I understand of the climate of California, it's not somewhere that's going to have a lot of soft pitches. And certainly here in Texas, you play on hard pitches most of the year. You play on turf in some occasions.
Right.
And the need for metal studs goes away. I played my entire high school career with metal studs, got to Trinity and never wore them again. That one's in from Carr towards the back post, and that's a great save. Chmielewski with his left-footed shot, and Willman able to get his hands up to it. Dangerous play from Occidental, and the second shot in anger at the Trinity goal, as Oxy have started this game very, very well. Eubank skews that one off the outside of his foot, and a little bit of an inquest there between Curry and Eubank about whether the ball was really on to Jack Eubank. Yep. But certainly, CH, if you're Occidental, you're taking a lot of pride from this start here.
Absolutely. They've definitely been on the front foot for at least the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Curry dances away from Stanley and drives down this left wing. That's really nice play, and that will be a foul. Stanley claims that he's not trying to pull Curry back, and I think we all saw exactly what happened. But I think that was just a common foul and nothing more needed. Good decisive refereeing, to be fair, from the man in the middle to make sure that didn't escalate.
Absolutely.
Eubank will take this one left-footed. Drives that one in the direction of Michael Mies. Karp, though, wins the header as Mies tried to spin in behind. Curry, and as you saw the way the ball held up there, it favoured Janet, and here come Occidental. That's through the middle for Chmielewski. He's got a chance here. He's round the keeper, and that's a penalty. And the big decision is whether that's going to be a red for Austin Willman. Is it double jeopardy? Did he try and play the ball? Did he take the man down? It looks like the referee certainly signaled for a penalty to Occidental. And we're going to find out whether this is a red card or not for Austin Willman in the Trinity goal. You saw the ball hold up in the muddy patch that allowed Occidental to get the counter-attack going. And as there's a discussion here between the linesman and the official, and the card is red. Austin Willman is sent off in the Tiger goal, and Trinity have conceded a penalty and are down to 10 men here, 15 minutes into the game, as Chmielewski went past Willman. He reached for the ball. It is outside the box, though. That replay shows that was outside the box, correct? So in actual fact, forgive me, it has been determined this is a free kick and a red card. Forgive me, I believe the referee had pointed to the spot. Indeed, that was not the case. But immediately, this is an uphill battle for the Trinity Tigers, down to 10 men following Austin Willman's straight red card. What a time to be Joshua Lynch.
Wow.
The junior goalkeeper from Hendersonville, Tennessee, has to step in to the biggest moment of his Trinity career so far. What a moment for him. CH.
Wow. It was a fantastic break. Callum, as you mentioned, the bounce, the touch, first pass through, fantastic ball through to
Chmielewski.
Thank you. And you got to give credit to him. It was a fantastic take as well. So, gee whiz, a mountain to climb for the Trinity Tigers. Goodness me. What a turn of events.
Lynch has played in 7 games this year, starting 1, but that was all the way back on the 3rd of September against Pomona Pizza. What an opportunity this is for Occidental to follow up their first ever win in the NCAA tournament last night by reaching their first ever Sweet 16 tonight. This free kick is going to be taken by Aiden Ailey, the sophomore from Ross, California. This is a dangerous moment as the Tigers will have to try and regroup following the red card. Ailey over the top, off the bar, rebound, and it's going to go for a corner, I think. What an effort from Ailey there.
Goodness me, what a take.
Lynch was rooted to the spot. Over the bar.
My goodness. Oh, man.
It curled so perfectly down from Ailey. Lynch, I mean, any Premier League goalkeeper doesn't get near that. What an effort. Unlucky for Occidental not to take the lead. Corner coming from the far side. Curled into the middle. Rule unable to get there. Looked like he might have been pushed. Meese will chase out to Carr. Carr whips it in, headed goalwards. That was Karp.
Another one.
Making a move towards the near post and deflected wide, as Occidental had started this game well before the red card, but are now firmly on top, trying to find a breakthrough. And Trinity just need to try and hang on here.
Goodness me. At this point, you just have to try and turn the screw if you're Occidental.
Schwartz will attempt to do that with another corner. Towards the back post, Navarro went up. Janet will chase it down. Can the Tigers find a way to finally get out here? They've been under the cosh for a couple minutes. Janet, and that one will relieve the pressure. Actually going for a throw-in. And if you're Occidental, I don't know that that's really what you needed in that moment, trying to keep the pressure on the Tigers. So, CH, Trinity down to 10 men. We're going to assess exactly what this looks like in terms of a formation. But the 3-5-2 will certainly have to go out the window now playing with 10.
It has to. I'm still trying to figure out exactly what the adjustment is.
Yeah. Meese looks to have dropped in a little bit.
It has to be a back 4, and then you fill that in with maybe a 5, and then you have a lone striker, a lone front man.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be the Alamo, no pun intended, for
down here in San Antonio
for quite a bit here. For
my initial reaction, I think it was Will Powell who was withdrawn in the substitution for Lynch to go in goal. My initial reaction is it's a back 4 with Veloz at right back, Eubank at left back, Rule and Blank in the middle.
Yep.
So almost a 4-4-1 with a diamond for the Tigers now as they try and match up a little bit with Occidental. That one's towards the back post and Jesus Veloz steers it away. Shenaji looks like he's now playing as a lone forward, potentially just to try and use his pace in behind. Here is Joe Curry. And here's Knutson, who has a chance to run, but does check back and try and keep possession. Adji coming towards him, and Schwartz is able to hold him up, but Knutson gets the ball back from Veloz. Dancing away down the right-hand side and winning a free kick, and potentially see set-piece opportunities like this are how Trinity are going to have to attack this now down a man.
Well, the set pieces, especially from anywhere, really, as we saw last night in the Trinity game against UTD, the set pieces from anywhere can yield good results. They scored a goal within the last minute of the first half from a hopeless long ball into the box, and we'll see. I mean, you just never know in these games.
Eubank curls it left-footed, but way too close to the keeper. And Riley Nyhan, who had a couple of hairy moments last night, if we're completely honest, gleefully able to take the first hold of the night with ease. Alien behind. Chmielewski's free to his right. Chmielewski can control. What a recovery from J.C. Rule. Unbelievable. Lynch gives him all the credit, as well he might. J.C. Rule came from absolutely nowhere there to save a certain goal.
Fantastic recovery. Every single defender watching this is just like, this is what it's all about. Brilliant.
Chmielewski's first touch took him slightly towards Rule, but the recovery pace, time that right, you get that wrong, you're down to 9 men.
It was well done.
Unbelievable from Rule.
Absolutely well done.
Another corner for Occidental. Schwartz again. Right-footed. That one's too close to the near post, and Adji clears away. But here's Carr, who struck one the other night, and that one is just wide of Lynch's far post. Carr had the first shot in anger last night, and that one just wide of Lynch's right-hand post.
Good hit. Well taken.
CH, if you're Occidental in this situation, probably a situation that you couldn't even have dreamed of. A man up early on in the game against a team that played 110 minutes last night. Patience, obviously the key, but how do you go about turning numerical superiority into a goal on the scoreboard?
Well, it's tough to say. I think, as I said initially, there's a good ball there.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that wherever you forsake, you have to pay. So
Veloz into Mies. Mies on the turn! Oh, it's just wide. And that is the danger that Michael Mies possesses. Wow. A simple ball in from Veloz. One touch, turn, swivel, hit. And Michael Mies so near to snatching the lead for the Tigers. That is exceptional forward play.
Oh, that was close. Jeez.
Just wide of Nyhan's right post. Sorry to cut across you as we were talking about
you're
how
good,
Occidental can try and win this game, but they have to keep the back door shut as well.
Well, I think that's where you rob Peter to pay Paul, and I think for Occidental, they keep doing what they're doing. They're extremely dangerous going forward, and as long as they maintain that advantage in the midfield, they're going to be dangerous going forward. However, it's just one of those things from a Trinity perspective. Down 1 man, can you keep your defense organized? Can you stay compact defensively?
Offside there against Janet.
But for Occidental, it's one of those things that you just have to keep doing what you're doing. So if you're creating mismatches out wide, if you're creating mismatches in the midfield, then you keep doing what you're doing. You have your shape, you have your diamond, you have your triangles, especially in the attacking phase. You continue doing what you're doing. It's worked. It's obviously caused an extremely difficult situation for the Trinity Tigers. But you just have to stay the course. You can't start lumping the ball forward. You can't start being desperate. It's one of those things that, especially from a coaching position, that you continue doing what got you here.
Absolutely. And as we look down beneath us, Joe Curry driving forward and unable to win a throw-in, and it's situations like this that could provide danger for Trinity. Chmielewski running in behind, and Rule able to slide that one out, but needs to be careful he doesn't end up crashing into that bench wall down below him. We should mention that Braden Shuey, one of the big heroes of last night for Trinity, his equalizing goal sent them to overtime with UT Dallas. He is getting ready to come into this game. And as I've already said, CH, a team that played 110 minutes last night in Trinity, going to have to rotate even more than was already anticipated tonight, and use their bench now down to 10 men to try and in some way find fresh legs.
And not only will they be leggy, they will be extra leggy.
Oh, that one bounces through. Stanley, great tackle from Eubank, and you see there the conditions playing a role again. Mies will chase this one, but doesn't have the speed to catch up with it, and Carp can just see it out of play. But it's bounces and skids like that, CH, that can be so dangerous to anybody at the back defending.
Well, it's one of those things as a defender, as a midfielder, you have to check your shoulders, you have to check your boys next to you, your brothers next to you, and you have to say, like, hey, are we good? Are you good? And you also have to make sure that everyone, especially man down, is accounted for. And so as we see Max Stanley here on the right wing, for Eubank, you have to check your shoulders. You have to make sure that everything you have been taught, everything you have practiced, everything you have trained for, that you are dotting those T's and crossing those I's, if you take my meaning.
Absolutely. Poked away by Curry, but only as far as Carr, and Occidental are starting to box the Tigers in a little bit here. Tigers having to just keep their shape. They will have their moments when they have to try and attack. But as Navarro drives forward, this has been Occidental's pressure for the last 5 or 10 minutes. Lovely. Navarro, Janet, great interplay around the edge of the box. Ailey with a shot. And it's just into the side netting. Howlett tried to follow it up. I think Lynch might have got a touch on the initial effort from Ailey. What a save if so. We'll see if we can get a replay of that. But Occidental knocking at the door and trying to bust it down. That one curling away, and I do give credit to Lynch. What a save.
Great save.
Howlett, with the angle very, very tight, could only fire it into the side netting. Substitution has been made for the Tigers. Braden Shuey into the midfield in place of Joe Curry. And Occidental going to the bench for the first time today. As a sub we saw last night, Tyler Nanakornpanom will come in, probably in one of the attacking positions, as was the case last night. That's offside against Schwartz. And if you're the Tigers, an offside certainly allows you to try and alleviate some issues here. And the second sub as well, number 9, Andrew Notter, product of Amsterdam, the Netherlands, will also be coming in the attack. And Notter will potentially be able to engage in hostilities with his fellow Dutchman, Peter Blank, for the Tigers. Rule under that one, and Blank is now in a foot race with Janet, which is not a position you want to be in. Janet towards the byline. Blank does very well, and that one is going to be a goal kick. Well defended, Peter Blank. He fought all the way with Janet and was just able to shepherd that one behind for a goal kick to the Tigers. And a third sub coming in for Occidental. This one's interesting. Christian Corcoran from Derbyshire, England, scored the equaliser last night, following up on the missed penalty from Schwartz. And he will come in now at left back for Howlett. So Ailey out, Chmielewski out, Nanakornpanom in, Notter in, and Corcoran to left back. Looks like the Tigers have reshuffled the pack a little bit here. Mies looking like he's a little bit more central, and Adji pulling out to this left-hand side. Eubank wins that header, but Knutson can't get it away from Schwartz, and here is Nanakornpanom. He has the fresh Corcoran to his left. Corcoran with a diagonal ball in towards Notter, and that's well done by Rule just to get his body in the way. And Lynch can claim.
Callum, just briefly, interesting that Chmielewski gets relieved of his duties. He was maybe the most positive attacking threat from Occidental for the first 32 minutes.
Hard to disagree. It was a similar situation last night, so you wonder if this is a classic pattern of substitutions that was pre-planned.
Yep.
Veloz against Corcoran down that left-hand side, down the right-hand side, and Veloz does brilliantly well. Cross too high for Adji. Shuey will chase it down, but Carr will get there first. Shuey does well to step across him though. Holding it up, Braden Shuey finds Instraw. Can the Tigers of Trinity find an attack for the first time in a little while here? Here's Eubank into Adji, but it doesn't quite fall for him. And Karp is able to control, and the Tigers are going to struggle to press down a man here. That one goes across the wet surface, and it looks like another change coming for Occidental as they try and turn the screw. And Kai Fiedelholtz, again, another one we saw last night, coming into this game, and you wonder when the Tigers will turn to their bench here with 16 minutes left in this first half. Still 0-0, but Occidental with that one-man advantage following the red card for the unfortunate Austin Willman. Throw in for Oxy down this right-hand side, and it'll be Fiedel-Holtz in for Janet again. Well, another situation we saw yesterday. Go ahead, CH.
Callum, real quick, it's just one of those things that you train all year, and we do exercises, you do drills, you go through phases of play, and maybe one team is down a man, one team is up a man. These are things that you always train for, but you never really expect during the course of a game, much less during the course of an NCAA tournament game. So it's just things to monitor the boys in white, whether their legs get slow, whether their minds get tired, and just definitely something to keep our eyes on moving forward.
Concentration has to be an all-time high if you're the Tigers of Trinity. This is still a game you can rescue, but it's going to take a huge effort after the expenditure of energy last night, and now having to play at minimum 75 minutes down a man. Corner will be taken by Schwartz again from the Occidental right-hand side. Swings it outwards, help towards goal and wide. That came off the foot of Andrew Notter attacking that near post.
Great ball in. Absolutely great service.
We always promise you drama here on the Tiger Network.
We try not to, but we inevitably do.
Thank you for tuning in to D3 SPN tonight. We appreciate you being with us. Lynch will clear this one downfield as Trinity are 15 minutes away from half-time, which they certainly could use to regroup. Eubank, that one's blocked well by Carr, and Rule has to intercept the header from Fiedel-Holtz. But as we look to a scoreboard on our left, we see Occidental with 4 corners and 3 shots on goal, and Trinity with 0 in both those categories. Fiedel-Holtz fires that one with some absolute oomph, just over the bar. Opportunities continuing to pile up for Occidental, and there comes a point where you wonder, if you're Occidental, how quickly you need to take one of those. Plenty of time left, but you don't want to allow Trinity to hang around if you want to advance to play Amherst in the Sweet 16. Fiedel-Holtz, blank away. Knudsen can control it, trying to find it forward towards Mies, and Romero again. You can see that patch of grass in that half, extremely slippy, as the ball holding up in the mud and puddles that are there just left of the center circle. But here's Corcoran driving forward with speed over Nana Kornpanom, and Rule is able to head it away. Again, magnetism when the ball's in the air for JC Rule. Schwartz back to Carr, and Navarro can find Stanley. Give Occidental credit, they're playing some nice football here and taking advantage of being this man up. That's Notter into the bottom corner, and Occidental have made the extra man count. It's Occidental 1, Trinity 0, and it's Andrew Notter's strike into the bottom corner of Lynch's net, and Trinity have it all to do now. Occidental a man up, a goal up, and what a finish that was from Andrew Notter.
Really well worked through the midfield, and Notter actually had quite a bit to do. Great first touch, got it out of his feet, great finish, bottom right corner.
I'll give you a 10 out of 10 on the chest slide as well, to be completely honest. And all the noise right now is from the Occidental bench and the Occidental fans, as that drum, which I will say is a little bit much, on the far side continues to pound away. Mies will be replaced here for the Tigers as they look to shuffle the pack. Luke Mayfield, first year from Dallas, Texas, into the game on that right-hand side, as the Tigers will now have to try and figure out how to find a way to score down a man here to extend their season past tonight. Veloz driving through the midfield as the Tigers look for a quick response. But Notter, the goal scorer, is able to be there first, and Blank steps in. Drives a diagonal pass looking for Adji, but he's overcooked that one, and that'll be a throw-in to Occidental. CH for Trinity. You can't win the game back in the next 2-3 minutes, but you certainly could lose it by conceding another couple. What's the balance here in terms of trying to attack before half-time, or do they try and get to half-time at 1-0 and regroup and plan from there?
No, Callum, I think the chief goal is you get to the halftime locker room down 1. If you get one, it's charity. It's something that is a gift that for whom you should buy a lottery ticket.
Eubank's cross. Nyhan is underneath that and not able to claim it first time, but Eubank potentially one of those cross shots that almost could catch out a goalkeeper who was not on his toes, but Nyhan dealt with that well. I'm not quite sure how that was given as a shot on goal, but the first shot on goal officially tonight given to the Tigers and Jack Eubank. He'll take the throw in. Carr in front of Adji though, and Notta wins the header and Eubank clatters into him. Not sure why Notta's holding his head, but there definitely was contact there and a foul for Occidental. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of contact there. That's definitely a foul.
Yep.
Karp will take the free kick right on halfway. And Occidental going to their bench again. Sam Jenkins, junior midfielder from Baltimore, Maryland, who played last night, will be coming into this game shortly. Navarro for Karp.
Evan, back up! Evan, back up!
You hear head coach Rod LaFury making sure that Occidental leave the back door shut. The Tigers going to their bench as well here. Trinity. Hunter Kane will be joining the party in just a second, but Occidental get another corner and Schwartz will have another opportunity to serve a dangerous ball in. Jenkins will come in at this point. And he'll replace Ethan Carr, who's been everywhere so far. Corner for Schwartz again. Occidental trying to turn the screw before half-time here. 10 minutes to the break. Confusion over whether or not the Tigers want to sub on this opportunity.
Yeah, I don't think they will, Callum.
No. Not sure what the fourth official is arguing with Coach Fitzpatrick over. There's the referee actually coming over to have a conversation here. Very unclear exactly what's happening. Centre referee in discussion with head coach Paul McGinley and the fourth official here. And Kane will sub in.
Interesting.
For Adji. I wonder if that's to do with, I guess, procedural, that if you've checked in, you must enter. I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened there, as Adji will depart. Hasn't really had a chance to open his legs and show his speed so far tonight. Schwartz with a corner in towards the near post. Rule again wins it in the air, and there'll be a throw in for Occidental as the Tigers try and build a wall here and see this through to half time. Schwartz will look to launch this one. Schwartz's throw headed away well there by Mayfield, and a foul actually given in favor of Trinity, which will allow them to relieve the pressure.
Callum, this is just cannot be overstated, the importance of this last 9 minutes and change in terms of the Trinity Tiger perspective of you have to get to the halftime locker room only down 1.
Yeah.
Just have to. And from an Occidental standpoint, you continue to press and attack the exact same way you have been. And it's yielded a lot of success, and you just have to understand that if you have one more chance, this thing could be over. So
finding the breakthrough so crucial. The longer it goes at 0-0, the bigger Trinity grow into the game. But Notta's finish into the bottom corner has separated the two sides and meant that it's going to take a lot for Trinity. But here's Knutson, who picks that one off and actually thought about trying to chip the keeper from halfway, David Beckham-esque, but seemed to get the ball stuck under his feet and was unable to do so. Eubank wins the header well. Shuey flicks it out to Hunter Kane, who's just checked into the game. Kane has Eubank on the overlap and tries to play it, but just pushed that one too far ahead of him, and it's an unfortunate miscommunication there between Eubank and Kane. But those are the sort of mistakes that are going to happen in wet conditions with tired legs after the efforts of last night for Trinity. And we thought there might be an advantage in the fact that Trinity played first last night. Occidental was still on the field here at 10:45 p.m. last night, but the fact that they are fresher, using more substitute last night and not having to go to double overtime thanks to that late winner, potentially playing into the cards now. Fiedelholtz away from Mayfield. Fiedelholtz, and it's in! It's 2-0. I'm not quite sure how it ended in, but Kai Fiedelholtz makes it 2-0 to Occidental. And is that the goal that sees the Californian Tigers through to the NCAA round of 16? They celebrate in front of the Trinity fans. I would say that's ill-advised, but right now, they're in complete control here in San Antonio. Fiedelholtz drove to the baseline, cut it onto his right foot, and it's flicked in actual fact by Notta. A back heel for Notta, his second of the game, and what a finish that is. The Occidental fans told me they bought those tents here in town today, and they're very happy underneath them right now as Fiedelholtz wheeled away in celebration, and Oxy lead by 2 with 8 minutes to go till halftime. Lynch to Rule. Eubank here on the left, but Rule instead drives it forward, looking for Kane in behind. Does the flag go up? Does the flag stay down? Kane able to get there first. Karp with a shove in the back, nothing given. And hammered forward, looking for Fiedelholtz again. Rule, as always, wins it in the air and does so again. But that'll be an Occidental throw-in down on this right-hand side. Seven minutes to play till the break. Occidental adding the crucial second. And they have turned the screw since they went to their bench. They really have. They've stepped it up after the red card and made the extra man count.
Absolutely.
Schwartz back to Romero. Loose touch. Hunter Kane. Chance to run through on goal. Big moment this. Kane up against Karp. Goes to his left. Looks like he might have been fouled there, and eventually it's hacked away by Romero. Hunter Kane, though, showing his speed, trying to find a way back into this for Trinity. Eubank into Jack Downs, who's come into the game. Fresh legs. He just took a penalty last night. What a moment that was for him after the events of the SCAC Championship. Credit to Jack Downs for stepping up last night. Needs to repeat some heroics here tonight with the Tigers down 2-0. That one's poked away by Navarro as Kane was waiting for the ball, and Jenkins finds Fiedelholtz. Jenkins now able to try and play it through, looking for Notta. Rule, I mean, how many times am I going to say it, wins the header. Veloz on the right-hand side, and a little bit more adventure from Trinity in the last couple of minutes, but that allows an opportunity potentially for Occidental to break. Louis Instraw, great close control away from Jenkins and Eubank. Jack Downs looking to run in behind. Can he get there? Jack Downs towards the end line. He'll get there and keep it in. Up against Karp. Forced backwards to Eubank. Eubank's ball in. Kane challenging. Instraw brings it down. Here's Kane again. Pokes it forward, but Nyhan is able to get there and smother it as Trinity building a decent attack for the first time in a little while there.
Yep. Just one of those things that if you're going to mount an attack, it has to be something with an end product, whether it's out of play, whether it's in the back of the net.
You can see extremely hazy, misty, and wet conditions here on your monitors right now. It's a damp and dreary night but not for the Occidental Tigers so far. 5 minutes to half-time, and Oxy in control here, despite the Tigers still threatening the other way, as Trinity looking to try and get back into this. Trinity appear to have gone to basically a 5-3-1 formation, with Kane as the lone striker right now. The three in midfield of Downs, Instraw, and Shuey. Mayfield at right back, Eubank at left back, and Blank, Veloz, and Rule as the central three defenders. But right now, Oxy can keep possession, take their time, and try and find a way to get what would be potentially a decisive third goal. Rule can clear that one, but skews it off the outside of his foot, and it's just hacked away by Mayfield. Anywhere will do right now for Trinity, trying to find a way to get to half-time. We said still at 1, and then they conceded, and now it's make sure it stays 2. Kane being urged to press Nyhan. Rule again. Instraw out to Mayfield. Can Mayfield conjure something with his right foot? Looking for Hunter Kane, who actually does well to control it. Jack Downs in support. Karp up rather than out. Eubank wins the header down, looking for Downs, but that one will just scoot out of play. And Stanley will have the throw-in. CH for the Tigers, obviously we said get the half-time, see if you can create a game plan. But at what point does, 3-0 be the same as 2-0 and 4-0 be the same as 2-0?
Yeah.
They're going to have to try and find a way to go for this at some point and see if they can get a goal back.
You're absolutely right, Callum. It's one of those things that it's darned if you do and darned if you don't. However, it's also from the Trinity standpoint, it's one of those things that you have to continue to at least try and remain true to your principles. That if you want to possess the ball, you can't. So now, as Coach Paul McGinley will have to do, is they'll have to adjust. And whether it's a switch in formation, whether it's an adjustment to personnel.
Space on the left here for Eubank if Kane could find him. It goes to Rule instead. They come back the other way with Shuey. Now Veloz has space on the right. Instraw able to find him outside. Veloz. Can the Trinity Tigers find a way to get one back before half-time? Veloz on his right foot. Whips it in towards the near post. Downs was there. Kane. Shuey. Downs. Oh, it's just wide. The offside flag goes up. The Tigers, though, positive in the attack. As Jesus Veloz's cross caused all the trouble. Downs couldn't get there with the header. Kane's shot was blocked. Shuey on the stretch. Good defending, you have to say, by Karp, and I think it was Downs in the offside position. Ball does ricochet wide in the end either way. But Trinity can try and take some element of positivity from that CH.
Yeah.
Creating chances despite being down a man.
Absolutely. They have to. They have no other choice.
Navarro, pressured by Kane, who's looked lively since he came into this one.
Absolutely, yes.
Trinity will take the throw in deep inside their own half here. Jesus Veloz and Mayfield in discussions. That goes to Mayfield, who sets it back for Veloz to clear. Just about a minute and a half to half time here. Navarro's header down to Corcoran. And here's Karp. Navarro pokes it to Corcoran on the left. Can Oxy find another chance before the half? Not that way, as Veloz can find Instraw, who cuts inside, but he's crowded out there. Didn't have as much time as he wanted. Well pressured by Schwartz. Stanley. To Nana Kornpanam on this right-hand side. That's hooked in towards the middle, and Notta's there for the hat-trick. And he heads it wide. What a chance, what a ball that was from Tyler Nana Kornpanam. Notta applauds, gives him the thumbs up. That could have sealed it before the halftime break.
Goodness me.
Gets the power on it, just not the right direction. Lynch in goal, relieved to see that fly past his post. Goal kick towards the halfway line. Nana Kornpanam gets there first, but Rule sends it up, and that one will go out of play on this near side. And with 20 seconds to half-time, Occidental can manage this as much as they want. Take their time, knowing that both the scoreboard and the clock is in their favor, and it's all on Trinity to find a way to get back into this one. Stanley's throwing, and as The ever-present James Hill gives you the 10-second countdown. Trinity with it all to do here. Occidental are 45 minutes away from the Sweet 16 of the 2023 NCAA Division III Men's Soccer Championship. Andrew Notter with a huge impact off the bench after the early red card for Austin Willman for a foul as the last man. We will step aside here for the better part of 15 minutes. Be back with you for the second half live on the Tiger Network. Welcome back. We are just about set for the second half here at Paul McGinley Field between the Occidental Tigers and the Trinity University Tigers. As you can see, the rain continuing to pour here in San Antonio. Occidental are not feeling it right now, and the Trinity Tigers absolutely right up against it here. Obviously, with these conditions, our broadcast set up a little bit different than it was last night. We apologize for the changes, but glad that we're still able to bring you this very important Division III soccer match for a place in the Sweet 16 against Amherst next weekend. My name's Callum Squires, alongside me, CH Farmer. CH, we've said it already, the second goal could be crucial for Occidental. How do the Tigers go about trying to chase this one?
Sheesh. I'm not exactly sure, Callum. I think the thing that Occidental has done extremely well is no matter what their numerical superiority has been, they've continued to play the exact same way. So now the challenge for Trinity is to somehow, in some way, mitigate the numerical disadvantage in the midfield and at least create some sort of opportunity. I think if you're a fan for the team in white, you would want and wish and hope and pray for something to happen within the first 10 minutes. That way it galvanizes your team. From an Occidental standpoint, you continue doing what you're doing, and they have controlled the game fairly well. They have done extremely well in the middle of midfield and on the wings. At this point, it's a matter of who blinks, and we'll find out hopefully very soon.
Occidental know they are 44 minutes now away from their first ever appearance in the NCAA Division III Sweet 16. The Tigers looking to make their 18th. It's going to take one hell of a comeback if that's going to happen here tonight. Schwartz for Ailey, who was very dangerous in his early stint in this game. He attacks Luke Mayfield, now playing right back for the Tigers, and Instraw able to clear it. He looks immediately to try and get Joe Curry in behind, as the Tigers look to have changed their shape a little bit, almost a 4-2-3 here as they try and find a way back into the game. Schwartz, Ailey, that's into the near post. Gianne's header is well saved by Lynch, but the offside flag was up already, and Trinity can breathe again. Trinity, keep doing that. Trinity noticeably keeping 3 players high here. They're still outnumbered 5 against 3, but Meese, Adji, and Curry are all high for Trinity against the back 5 of Occidental.
And Callum, I wasn't able to interject there, but I was not able to talk to Coach LaFleury, but I did talk to Coach McGinley, and they did, as you noted, they did adjust their formation. So they're going to now, with their numerical disadvantage, with a 4-2-3, and we'll see what, if anything.
Near post, Chmielewski, that's 3, and that should be that. Chmielewski able to turn it home, and Occidental have the 3rd early in the second half. It's a great ball in from the right-hand side. He runs off the back of Blank in the middle, and Marcus Chmielewski is able to turn it home and give Occidental what could be and probably should be the knockout punch. Trinity will have to keep going here, but Marcus Chmielewski able to celebrate as Occidental look to be closing in on a berth in the Sweet 16 and a date with Amherst. Trinity need 3 now. It's a great piece of football, CH. Tigers looking to respond quickly. Knutson looking for Meese, headed away by Romero. Knutson cuts onto his left, then back onto his right, jinking through tacklers and wins a free kick in a dangerous shooting position. And it's situations like this, as we said earlier, set pieces, that might be the answer for the Tigers to try desperately to find a way back into this game. 42 minutes to play, now trailing by 3.
Well, Callum, from a Trinity perspective, It's a real test of their mettle now. How do you respond when your back's on the mat?
42 minutes to save the season for Trinity. Interesting to see the draft excluder deployed behind the wall for Occidental. Agi and Eubank over this one. Perhaps favoring the left-footed Eubank from this angle, but it is pretty central. Riley Nyhan in the Occidental goal awaits. Trinity conceded a deflected goal last night. What price a deflected free kick here to bring them back into it? Agi. Nyhan spills it. Blank went in, and Nyhan did well to get there first. I don't know how much contact there was. Blank had a right and had to go for that ball. Clock is stopped here. Nyhan will check on his condition. Blank offering his condolences. Agi's free kick was struck well. Nyhan did spill it forward, and as Blank went in, yeah, there is some contact there from the foot. Nyhan taking that one, but up and on his feet, thankfully.
Was that a Manchester United wall, or was I seeing things?
Define a Manchester United wall.
A losing one.
A lesser manager would call it a disgrace, right?
No comment, Callum.
Shouldn't we just replay every Arsenal game they lose? Anyway, driven forward by Nyhan. Knutson and Rule again wins the header. Carr heads it down, and Knutson is able to intercept. He's going to try and look early. He does brilliantly well to drive through the midfield there. Adam Knutson still forcing his way forward, and nothing given somehow for that. Instrull out to Mayfield on the right-hand side. Mies inside of him. That rebounds off Mayfield, and Schwartz hacks it away, but it'll be a Trinity throw-in here on this side. Blank. Mayfield will kick the ball that was in play out, and Lynch settles it down before finding Mayfield. As you see, the ball completely slowing there to almost a stop on this sodden surface, and Mayfield slips, but somehow the ball still works, finding Curry. Curry cuts inside. He has Mies with him. Mies with a great first touch. Romero sticks to him, though. Here's Knutson. Agi with Eubank on the overlap. The Tigers of Trinity desperately trying to find a way back in. Eubank to the byline, near post. It's spilled out. Can Mies get there? And it's hacked away. Better from Trinity, that. Instrull faced with Ailey. Goes round the outside of him, looking for a ball inside to Curry. Here's Knutson again. Eubank and Agi on that left-hand side looking to combine. Agi onto his right foot, driving towards the box. Blocked shot, Knutson, and that's Uri Janet back there doing some defending for Occidental. Credit them, they have stuck gamely to their defensive task when Trinity have built attacks forward. Eubank, short to Agi. His pocket is picked by Carr, and here come Occidental. Ailey with lots of space to move into. Instrull trying to cover, but again, Trinity down a man, not able to cover every single gap. Howlett continues to run down the left-hand side, and Mayfield somehow gets a block on that. Schwartz looking for Howlett. Ailey slides in and does loop that over Luke Mayfield, and will win a free kick. Nice touch there from Ailey.
Yes. As we see the replay here, Eubank, fantastic ball back across the box. Great save there too. Smart hand.
And ball to the back post eludes Chmielewski this time. Trinity have to keep trying to attack. The scoreline is bleak, but if you're going to find a way back in, you've got to try and risk some men forward. Agi, lovely touch and turn away from Stanley, approaching the penalty area. Shen Agi towards the byline. Mies is there. Can he control? Michael Mies! It's hit Curry and gone wide. Trinity with more opportunities though. Instrull, lovely cut onto his left foot. Finds Knudsen at the top of the box. Can he get a shot away? Instead, he finds Curry in plenty of space. Approaching the box. Joe Curry drags it across. Mies couldn't get there. Instraw wins it back. But Carr is able to sweep up. He's been essential for Occidental building out of the back today. Trinity creating chances, but they need to take one soon to start making Occidental think and find a way back into this. Stanley, though, the release valve on the far side. Janet with his hand up on the left, and Navarro is able just to take his time and pick out Ailey. Mayfield over to him, but Janet has space to run in behind. Janet on his left towards the byline. Janet! Oh. So close to both the far post and Chmielewski coming in. It goes for a goal kick to, it goes for a throw into Trinity somehow. But Occidental threatening again here, CH.
Oh, what a fantastic run. Fantastic ball played into him early. Had all that green grass to play with.
That one back to Lynch. Again, this ground is really starting to be a problem for the Tigers. Mies trying to get there before Romero, but can't do so. This Trinity half is becoming unplayable by the second. Mies away from Navarro, has Curry ahead of him. Looking for more support. Has to check back and find Instraw. That's well played by Mies, and what a ball from Instraw. Straight to Joe Curry. Can he take on his man down that right-hand side? Curry approaching the penalty area. Looked like a foul to me, and again, another free kick in a better shooting position this time for Trinity. 36 minutes to play. Corcoran preparing to come back in for Occidental. As you see Curry here clipped by Navarro, it looked like. He kind of went down in stages, but I do think his momentum was halted by Navarro on the edge of the box. Knudsen looks like over this one.
Well, it's a good spot, either a left or a right footer. Speaking purely for myself, I think the left foot really does favor us here. The Trinity Tigers.
It's all right, CH.
Don't laugh at me. However, I do, again, speak to that wall, is that everything that teams are doing these days is you have the player laying down behind the wall just in case there is a low one.
There's a lot of space to the goalkeepers right here. Eubank or Knudsen. It's Eubank. It's deflected and in! And Trinity have one back. A change of momentum here perhaps in San Antonio. Jack Eubank's free kick takes a deflection, and it hurt the Tigers last night. It helps them tonight. 35 minutes left. Occidental 3, Trinity 1. Deflection off one of the Occidental players. Nyhan has no chance, CH.
No chance.
And the Tigers have a way back into the game, perhaps.
Into the wall. Again, it's every coach's dream that if it misses everyone, it goes in. And unfortunately for the Occidental Tigers, it does hit someone in the wall. We couldn't exactly tell who. But nonetheless, here we are. 3 against 1 in the Tiger Derby.
Carr replaced by Corcoran as Occidental try and keep their fresh legs, and Uri Janet gives a very pronounced stay calm signal. Trinity, the crowd energized, on their feet now as the hometown Tigers try and find a way back into this one. It's not quite game on yet, but there's a sniff for Trinity here as Mies wrestles with Carr. Still holds the ball up, and Schwartz is there to poke it away. Corcoran can't quite keep it in, and Trinity will maintain possession down his right-hand side. Blank to JC Rule. Driving forward, Eubank making a run in behind. Found on the left-hand side. Eubank first time. Is that going to go for a corner? Nyhan can't prevent it. And Trinity continue to build. Instraw will go across to take it. It should be made very clear that the Trinity Tigers are having to stick and risk here. Uri Janet is one-on-one with Luke Mayfield on halfway. If the ball breaks, that could be danger, but Trinity having to commit men here to try and get back in. Corner swung in. Headers go up. Chmielewski chests it down, and here is that aforementioned situation. Janet against Mayfield. Chmielewski through the middle, looked like he's straight offside. Knudsen with a very, very, very smart tactical foul. Had to take that, and Adam Knudsen takes the yellow card. You see Rodri do it for Man City all the time. He knew the counter-attack had to be stopped, and Knudsen takes the yellow card, and Trinity will be grateful that he does so.
Really well played from Janet. He knew exactly what options were ahead of him. Chmielewski was clearly offside on the counter. He knew he had to go it alone.
Karp swings this one left. Corcoran looking for it. Mayfield will take the goal kick though. Trinity continuing to build some momentum. Lynch slips as he takes the goal kick. I mean, this half is continuing to take the battering of the elements. Mayfield forces it away, but Occidental able to possess. You can see puddles starting to appear in elements of this pitch as the rain continues to pour in San Antonio. Corcoran, left-footed cross, cut out by Mayfield, and he hacks it away, but it will only roll out of play for an Occidental throw-in. Schwartz, again, the Tigers of Trinity continuing to leave three up top. Curry, Mies, and Adji looking to try and sniff out a chance here. Schwartz
He's played well today.
Schwartz?
Yeah.
Absolutely. He was great last night.
Done very well.
Blank can't win the header, but it will skip through for a goal kick to Trinity. Fortunately there, as Peter Blank misjudged that one. Lynch, we've just seen him slip trying to take a long one, and you wonder if maybe he'll try and go short, but it looks like he is waving everybody forward here.
And I don't blame him. I wouldn't want the ball in this puddle of mud down close to us, Callum.
That's a very fair point. Knudsen having to press over here, but Corcoran takes a nice touch past him. Here is Janet. And Ailey gets his head up and moves it to the right-hand side where Stanley waits. Schwartz down for Corcoran on the left. Corcoran drives it across, poked away. That hit Janet. Knudsen goes down and I think bought a free kick there in all honesty. Coach Lefoury of Occidental not very happy with that one. Give Trinity some credit. They've stuck to their task. They could have folded having gone 3-0 down so early in the second half, but they've pulled one back and they're trying to now find a way to get a second. Mayfield under pressure from Janet. This is a dangerous situation considering the footing. Well swept away by Lynch. Eubanks header forward looking for Mies, but Navarro is able to sweep in that number 6 position and take care of it. Rule has to be forced back. Turns that left-footed clearance towards Adji. Headed inside, and Mies can get on it. Curry making a run through the middle, but Corcoran is there to cut that one off. Very nicely positioned by the Englishman. Changes coming for the Tigers as Jesus Veloz and Braden Shuey are ready to come back in. Schwartz out to Janet on the left-hand side. Schwartz again. And Janet, Occidental now willing to take their time. They know the clock is on their side, and at some point Trinity are going to have to press. Third man run from Corcoran is very intelligent. Schwartz though, shaping on his right before playing the reverse pass to Janet. Approaching the box, couple of step overs. Schwartz, edge of the box. Back to Janet. Almost toying with Trinity. Janet chops past Mayfield, and what a recovery that is. Luke Mayfield had to get that right, and I think we can say pretty considerably that he was able to win the ball there.
Close one. Never the position you want to be as a defender.
Janet with a nice piece of skill. Mayfield.
Extremely well recovered. Extremely well.
Joey Schwartz being told to go down there. I think there might be a slight injury concern. Stoppage on the clock. 29:49 left to play.
Got to think hopefully for his sake it's just a cramp. It's something that can be
oh yeah,
mended as we move forward.
if Occidental do advance to the Sweet 16, no one deserves to play more than Joey Schwartz based on his performances over the last 2 nights here.
Absolutely.
Jenkins back in his position, replacing Schwartz, and the Tigers will make the subs as well. Jesus Veloz is replaced by... Jesus Veloz is... sorry, the Trinity going to do this one at a time, it looks like. So Braden Shuey in for Shen Aji, and Joe Curry will push further forward, I think. Nana Kornpanom ready to come in a second for Occidental, as they continue to try and find a way to re-secure a 3-goal advantage here. That's a great ball from Jenkins to Ailey. Ailey with a dink pass. Eubank swiffed it, and fortunately for Lynch, he was able to get there before Janet. Lynch immediately looks to go long towards Mies, who tries to spin in behind. This ball will evade Instraw and find Chmielewski, who slides through that mud bath we've been talking about and finds Corcoran. Shouts of keep the possession, boys, from the Occidental bench. They know if they have the ball, they can try and run some clock and see this one through. Navarro pokes it back to Karp, and Corcoran now on the left-hand side. Chmielewski approaching the box, face-to-face with Mayfield. Goes past Instraw, who I thought probably fouled him there. But Instraw is not penalised, but his pass can't find Joe Curry as Trinity try and build this one. Now Michael Mies is replaced by Jesus Veloz, and it looks like Knutson will join Curry in the attacking position. Potentially back to a top 2 for the Tigers. Knutson and Curry both making a run there, but neither able to get a touch on it. Howlett to Stanley. Navarro with a ball, trying to turn JC Rule, but he doesn't bite on that. Shuey back to Rule, and Rule hammers that one long. Tigers potentially trying to find a way to cause a slip or something, and a mistake in the Occidental back line to get a second goal here. Took a deflection to get Trinity on the board, and they might need another break of luck to find their way properly back into this game, as Occidental still lead by 2 here. Navarro to the right-hand side, and Ailey casually able to find Jenkins, as Occidental appear to now be able to just run the clock with possession as they please. Corcoran holding off Mayfield. And that one has deflected through to Nana Kornpanom in a dangerous position. Tries to split 2 Trinity defenders, is unable to do so. Instraw forced to go long, and give credit to Occidental. They've done very well at pressing high. When Trinity have tried to clear, they've been under so much pressure that they've had to force the ball long without really much direction at times. Curry finds Veloz, sorry.
I was just going to say that it's very interesting to see that even in their numerical advantage, they have remained with 2 in the attacking phase. So you have Gian and Nana Corcoran have remained extremely high. They are not sitting back. They are continuing to try and create numerical mismatches in the attacking phase.
Joe Curry. First time Trinity have been in the Occidental half in about 5 minutes. JC Rule. Diagonal ball forward. Corcoran goes over and wins the header, but it falls to the feet of Knutson. But Corcoran able to fire that against Knutson, and it will go out for a goal kick to Occidental. Andrew Notta, hero of the first half, with 2 goals, set to come back in for Oxy. And it will be for Uri Janet.
In for Occidental, Andrew Notta.
Clark to Navarro. Veloz putting a press on Romero, but he's able to find a first-time pass out here to Corcoran in plenty of space on the left-hand side. Corcoran over the top, Nana Kornpanom in behind. Great run, Nana Kornpanom pokes it over the keeper. And in. It's 4-1 to Occidental. It's Tyler Nanakornpanom, and the 3-goal lead is restored for the Tigers from California. And that may well be the knockout blow for Trinity. With 25 minutes to play, Tyler Nanakornpanom able to get there first, and it's a clever finish over Lynch. And Occidental continuing to find ways to cause Trinity problems with their numerical superiority.
Great ball, great finish. What else can you say?
Completely agree. Credit Occidental, you've said it all along, CH. They've played their football, and they are continuing to find ways to hurt the Tigers. 3-goal advantage restored. It's 4-1. 25 minutes still to play, but Trinity really up against it here if they want to advance to the Sweet 16. Curry breaking through the midfield, but he's just crowded out, and everywhere as Joe Curry went through Corcoran there, and I think that's going to be a yellow card for Joe Curry. And indeed it is. Bit of a late challenge on Corcoran.
Definitely a late one. Didn't see any malice in it. He was late. No doubt about that. Also, Callum, we've talked about Corcoran quite a bit tonight. Where is, as you would say, Derbyshire?
Kind of in the middle of England. Home of Derby County.
The Rams.
2 changes for the Tigers here is Sheffield native Jack Downs into the game, and Shen Adji in as well. Luke Mayfield will go out. Trinity continuing to rotate, trying desperately to find some offensive output, but it's so hard being down a man for 75 minutes in this game since the early red card. Touch on the chest there from Jenkins, and here's Notta, who has 2 goals to his name already tonight. Navarro out to the right, and Stanley. Navarro again. Corcoran gets there just ahead of Veloz, but Shuey can find Downs, and you just see how the ball is holding up there in the mud. That's a great tackle from Corcoran on his fellow Englishman. I'm astounded the referee's given a free kick there, if I'm completely honest. That was a great tackle from Corcoran on Downs.
Astounded, wow. That's a $5 word for you.
Ding, ding, ding. I get paid in the number of letters used, you see.
Nouns or vowels?
Both.
Consonants?
Can I have a consonant, please? Peter Blank drives this one forward with his right foot. Shuey goes up, but Navarro puts him off, and Stanley's able to win the header. Shuey hooks it back forward in the direction of Knutson, Eubank. Adji over there as well, but that's hacked clear, and Nanakornpanom in a race with Blank here. Well done, Peter Blank. How cool and calm is that? Shades of Lisandro Martinez at the back there from the Ajax fan, Blank. Jenkins has Corcoran out to his right. That one's in towards Nanakornpanom. He gets past Blank. JC Rule has to come over, but the tug back by Blank will be a free kick and a yellow card for Peter Blank.
How are Ajax doing this season, Callum?
Not great.
What about Arsenal?
Complaining a lot. Complaining a lot.
The celebration police. I'm here for it.
Well, you know, when there's these phantom offside lines at the Emirates, what can you do? Anyway, Karp, thankfully no VAR here. Karp will take this one right foot. It looks like this might be a shot on goal. Hits Downs on the end of the wall, but finds Ailey on the edge of the box. And that one will skew wide for a corner for Occidental on the far side, as the Tigers from California continue to turn the screw here and see if they can find a way to get a fifth. That one's headed away by Rule. Stanley on the edge of the box. Well blocked by Instraw. Curry slightly slow to react, but still gets there first. Turning away from Karp, Joe Curry. He has Adji to his left-hand side. Jenkins, though, steps in very well to block that one off. Rule tries to get a quick throwaway, but there will be a sub here as Michael Meese will return. Louis Instraw will have to step out as Trinity absolutely have to throw everything at this now. Abandon whatever defensive stability they've had, really, in the hopes of trying to find a goal to get this one back in the balance. And really, it would take two before Occidental really started to worry. Notta, can he keep that one in? He cannot on the far side. Rule drives this one downfield. Header from Howlett. And back to Navarro, who helps it to the left-hand side where Corcoran has the chance to play Nana Kornpanom again. Ball holds up and evades Shuey, but works for Nana Kornpanom. JC Rule over there defending stoutly as he does done throughout this season and his entire career in San Antonio. Great tackle, Braden Shuey. Won the ball fairly. Navarro, though, looking for Notta again. Chops back onto his right foot. Blank slides in to clear away from his fellow Dutchman. Downs looking to this right-hand side, but again you saw mud flying up off the surface as Downs tried to hit that pass in the direction of Adji. Trinity not really able to create a threatening chance since the goal they scored. Karp diagonally looking for Veloz, who heads it away. Downs wins that one and wins the second one, but it will be a throw-in for Occidental as their bench goes crazy, as well they might.
Callum, from a purely neutral perspective, I'm just not sure what else that the Trinity Tigers could have done in this situation.
No.
Occidental, to their credit, has absolutely done brilliantly given all of the circumstances. However, you just have to say what a shame this game was, unfortunately, and correctly, I might add, created in the current status that it is.
Yeah, I don't think there was any argument over the red card. I think Willman made an honest attempt to play the ball, but would have to admit he didn't get the ball and took down Chmielewski with an outstretched leg. Don't think the referee had a whole lot of... I didn't think really had any other option than to show the red card. No. Trinity held out for as long as they could, another 15 minutes or so, but Notta's introduction changed the game, and he struck twice before half-time. Trinity got back into it through Jack Eubanks' deflected free kick, but Tyler Nana Kornpanom, great name by the way, Tyler Nana Kornpanom looks to have secured it for Occidental.
He's also played fantastic. Yeah, he's dangerous, done extremely well.
Dangerous in the attack.
And I guess the only reason I say what I said is just that I would have loved to see these teams
11v11.
11v11.
Yeah. Would have been a great contest. I think UT Dallas gave a great account of themselves last night, taking Trinity to the limit. Occidental deserved winners over St. Thomas. Adji with a shot, and Nana Kornpanom can turn away from Adji. That one is caught well by Ross Fitzpatrick again.
How good is he then?
Just like he did last night, channeling his inner Tyreek Hill with a great catch there. Adji running through the middle, but it breaks kindly for Notta.
Navarro's been excellent as well.
Yeah, shielding that back line. I mean, when you get that man advantage, having a 6 who can shield the back line and really try and block off any flickers of Trinity attacks, Navarro's been great in that role.
Done extremely well.
to a man, I don't think Occidental have had a bad performance, honestly.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Credit to them for showing up here in San Antonio and playing their hearts out over 2 nights. And with 17 and a bit minutes to play, it looks like it will lead to a first Sweet 16 berth between Occidental and Amherst. Jenkins to Notta. Nana Kornpanom can't get there. And that's Shuey stepping in. He's been brave all weekend, holding it off and able to win a free kick off Tyler Nana Kornpanom. Blank will look to launch. Trinity have to go more direct, I think.
That's the first touch I've seen Nana Kornpanom put wrong.
Absolutely. That one's over the head of Howlett, and Mies tries to poke it towards Downs, but was unable to connect. Here is Navarro. And Karp again, who has barely put a foot wrong in two nights here. Karp at the back for Occidental. Jenkins turns well. Downs in pursuit, but he can find Corcoran on this left-hand side, and the 2 Englishmen may renew hostilities. Navarro again in this midfield as the grass continues to turn to mud here at Paul McGinley Field. That's Notta, and Lynch gets down well to save it. I think Coach Lafourie potentially wanted a little bit more possession there from Occidental. They know with 16 minutes, if they're not profligate with the ball, they can see this one through with the 4-1 scoreline. Profligate?
It's another $5 word.
It's good, right?
Yeah. No, I enjoy that. As an English minor, I enjoy that.
Oh, there you go. That one's in towards Mies, but headed away by Karp. And Corcoran will get there first. This goes towards Blank, who turns it to Jesus Veloz. Driving, but Nana Kornpanom putting him under pressure. That's a foul. Trip from behind from Nana Kornpanom. No real complaints from anyone on the Occidental bench there. Trinity looking for a set-piece opportunity to try and find a way back into it. Blank will drive this one right-footed towards the box. Joe Curry's in a lot of space here on the right-hand side if Blank wants to play short, but Corcoran has drifted over to cover. Blank drives it, heads go up at the back post, headed away and hacked clear. Veloz having a hustle now under pressure from Nana Kornpanom, and what you don't want to see if you're the Tigers is Uri Janet and his pace on the counter checking back in. He will be back with us shortly. And Kai Fiedel-Holtz is with him. That's Adji on the far side, does very well to hold off his man. Driving into the box, Stanley up against him, but it's poked away well. Good recovery from Howlett, as Adji trying to maybe take on 1 too many men there. But he has to try and create something, and there's not many other options there. Blank gets there first, and that's going to be a yellow for Ailey. I'm not quite sure if I saw a yellow card in that one, but Ailey takes the yellow.
Interesting one there from the referee. I didn't see it.
Just a foul, right?
That's what I saw.
Knutson ready to come back in for the Tigers, and the shade of light brown that his shorts and socks are tell the story of the efforts of Adam Knutson, who ran more than 7 miles last night after not training all week. An absolute warrior for Trinity, Adam Knutson. One of the scorers in the shootout as well. Blank drives another one in the direction of Adji. That's headed clear, and there might be a chance for an Occidental break on that far side. Jenkins has Nana Kornpanom through the middle. Instead reverses it all the way across with a great ball to Corcoran, who has to readjust due to the footing. And Corcoran can take off down this left-hand side again. Downs in pursuit. Jenkins. Mies does well to recover, but that's part of the issue, is Trinity now with just 1 man centrally in Joe Curry, because Mies had to come back and help defensively. Here's Adji, though, in space on that side. He's not had a whole lot of space to use his pace tonight, with that early red card changing the dynamic of this game so quickly. Shuey to Blank. Rule swings it to Eubank. Drives it forward with his left in the direction of Mies, but Naihan is able to come out. Discussion here about potential foul by Mies on Naihan. Naihan definitely engaging in a little bit of gamesmanship there, but Mies making contact with the goalkeeper as well.
Yeah.
This will be a free kick for Occidental.
I think in any other circumstance, it probably warrants a caution, but given where we are and how much time is left, I think the referee has chosen forgiveness there.
Credit to both these teams for the class they've shown this weekend. Adji on the far side, driving into the box. Chen Adji, chance for one back, but he drags it wide off the near post. Real chance for Chen Adji, but not able to finish that one. Great hustle to get into the position in the first place. Let's take a look here. Karp came over. Adji tried to fire it in at the near side, but Naihan, I don't know if he had it covered per se, but he's able to escape. Eubank is replaced as Knutson finally comes back in, and Notta, Ailey and Nana Kornpanom check out, having done their job very well all night, the three of them.
Shift.
And Occidental are 12 minutes away from the Sweet 16.
Good shift for those three.
Karp towards Corcoran, lovely ball, great touch. Occidental have some good football players, it has to be said. Jenkins through the midfield. To the right-hand side is Stanley. Navarro looking in the direction of Corcoran. Veloz defends it well. Jenkins, plenty of space, didn't really even look interested in thinking about a shot. Down the line for Fiedelholtz, up against Blank, and Blank does really well to somehow keep that in play and steal it away from Fiedelholtz. Veloz under pressure immediately from Corcoran, who himself has been impressive tonight down this left-hand side.
So, Callum, what do you make of proceedings tonight?
I think that Occidental started really well, and I think earned getting the man advantage by playing a great ball in behind towards Chmielewski.
Yep.
Obviously, for the sake of the evenness of the game, for anybody out there who's a neutral, you would have liked to have seen this played 11v11, as both teams look to be able to play good football.
Yeah.
Certainly, Occidental have been effective in possession, and I think they have been intelligent that they kept their patience when they had the man advantage. They took their chances when they came. And sometimes the hardest thing to do against 10 men is get that first goal. You know, Notta didn't quite open the floodgates, but getting that first meant that Occidental could just manage the game. I think Trinity have been, obviously, understandably, hamstrung by the early red card, and have given what I would say is a valiant effort at trying to stay in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so difficult against a team like Occidental who want to play football. You know, you could be 10 men against a team that maybe are not as interested in playing possession football, and it doesn't affect you as much. As here's Corcoran looking for a goal for himself. He got one last night, but Lynch saves that one. But Trinity knew that they were playing against a team who were looking to play football tonight.
Yeah.
And when you are, it's, you know, you see teams at the top level. You go a man down against a team like Barcelona, as you said, you know, they don't change their style. They continue to play their passing game, and they try and wear you down. And Occidental have done that to Trinity in part tonight. Romero just hacks that one clear. But I think we've seen two good teams on show tonight. I think you saw last night, Trinity and UT Dallas was a very tight game. I think the Tigers just about shaded it in the 110 minutes as Instraw's shot is blocked and comes out to Mies. The penalty shootout is always a lottery, but Trinity would have definitely been disappointed and perhaps felt a little bit aggrieved if they hadn't won that shootout after last night's game, as Instraw swings that one in and it's a corner. But for Occidental, I thought they controlled most of the game against St. Thomas. They rallied back from an early goal deficit, and they had to deal with some of the hijinks and the actions of St. Thomas that sometimes cause the games to be complicated, and they showed up, they were strong, and they were deserved winners. Uri Janet's late goal took that for them, and tonight they have played their game to a T. Instraw is offside as he swings that one back in, and Occidental will be 8.5 minutes away from Sweet 16.
No, very well said. I just as someone I know that has seen both of their games and only seen one myself, it's good to see confirmation of everything that we've heard, especially coming into the game, that they do enjoy. They do enjoy having the ball on the ground, and they play the way that you would want your own team to play, and all credit to them, no matter their numerical advantage, and that's why I think the toughest part for me to accept and deal with and try and understand is, if these teams had been 11v11, we would have seen a fantastic game. Not that we haven't.
Yeah.
I'm simply saying that, man, if these two teams had played level, goodness me, what a game it might have been.
And maybe we will have to come back here in 12 months and see that happen. But the SCIAC, Occidental, the champions of the SCIAC, has many superb teams, including Claremont Mudscripts, now head coached by Edward Carty, former Trinity great, and Redlands, who've been down here on numerous occasions. And the SCAC, with teams like Colorado College and Trinity at the top, looking to continue to find domination in this Region X, the West region of NCAA Division III. That's out to Stanley on the far side, as Oxy look to just run this last 7 minutes down. Credit to their fans, they haven't stopped making noise all night. I kind of wish the Vuvuzela and the drum would stop. Just, I'm going to be hearing that in my dreams tonight like I did last night.
That drum has been ever present.
What I don't understand is the Occidental fans who sit near the drum. I don't understand how you sit that close to the drum, and maybe Oxy fans can let us know if that's at every game. I mean, credit to you. You've traveled well.
Yeah,
and
sure have, man.
When presented with this situation tonight, the Occidental Tigers have taken full advantage of it, and credit to them.
Indeed.
Carr down the far side. Back to Stanley. Janet on the top of the box. Blank defending manfully to the last. Downs with a nice touch and turn away. That's sent forward by Blank. Mies thought about grabbing it, but unextended his hand as Shuey is up against Corcoran, and Corcoran breezes past him. In the box is Fido Holtz and Janet, and it's just wide. Uri Janet could have capped a great weekend for him with a goal there, but it remains 4-1. Shuey. Navarro back towards Corcoran. Fido Holtz is offside, immediately flagged by the assistant on the far side. And we are approaching the final 5 minutes here in San Antonio. Janet pressured by Knudsen. And here's Jenkins. And we're going to see first action of the weekend for Joshua Hamlet in this round of 32 game. He didn't play last night, but Hamlet about to come into this one and try and maybe just finally shore up the Occidental back line, though. Trinity needing 3 goals in 5 minutes. Shuey appeals for and gets the free kick for the challenge by Fido Holtz. And for Trinity, Ryan Cordner will check in as well for his first action of this weekend. Blank drives it forward, headed away by Romero. Instraw can't hold off Janet, who does very well to hold that one up. Carr back to Navarro, and a nice ball out to this left side. Stanley leaned his arm slightly towards it, but I think controlled it off his pec. Stanley skips past Shuey, and that'll be a free kick for Occidental on the edge of the Trinity box.
Corcoran has been unmarked the entire, maybe for the last 65 minutes.
He's been classed down the left-hand side all weekend. Well. I can pay him no higher compliment than saying he reminds me of Luke Shaw. I mean, he's been fantastic as an English left-back.
Alexander Zinchenko, yeah.
Well, he's not English.
What?
He's Ukrainian. Fiedelholtz asking perhaps for permission to take a shot. Gianne coming central, and Fiedelholtz will try and fire this one to the back post. Fiedelholtz gets that one completely wrong. Over the goal and into the net. And as I said last night, we used to call that a Lawrence Wyke around here.
Hey. Lawrence, if you're watching, we miss you.
Proud of the Bolton Bomber and his exploits.
Yes, the Bolton Bomber.
Nashville SC this year, former Trinity great Lawrence Wyke. Stanley coming off with a big smile on his face, and he's earned that.
Yes.
Braden Shuey gets a hug and a pat on the back from Coach McGinley and Coach Fitzpatrick. He's given it all, but I think the Tigers know now, the Tigers from San Antonio that is, that their race is run here in the Division III tournament this year. 2023 Sweet 16 berth looks like it will be going to Occidental. Mies with JC Rule making a huge run to his right, and I think that's the key, CH. Trinity haven't given up. No, give them all the credit in the world. They could have caved. They could have started infighting. They have tried everything they can to get back in this game, and on the night, they've been beaten by Occidental fair and square.
Absolutely not. I think that it ultimately is a mark of their head man, their head coach. Coach Paul McGinley's never been one, at least in my history, to call it quits and to pack the tent up and go home, regardless of circumstances. And I think that it usually takes a team like Occidental tonight, regardless of the circumstances, to do that.
Yeah.
And full merit to them. They've absolutely played very well, and they've played the game the way that all of us would love to play it. And fair play to them. Absolutely fair play to them. They have done extremely well.
Yep, can't say it clearer than that, as we're inside 2 minutes here, and Occidental will prepare to celebrate and move on to play Amherst with that very pronounced H, Amherst, in the round of 16. I know all of us at Trinity will wish them well, as Occidental look to spring an upset in the round of 16. Thanks to all of our fans tuning in from around the world, including the great Murray Fraser in Scotland. That's Gianne, chance to seal it here. What a block that is. Gianne again, another block.
Goodness me.
And a foul eventually goes against Gianne. I mean, credit JC Rule and Peter Blank. We spoke about not giving up. A minute to go, and the Tigers continuing to try and fight and save the goal. Lynch clears that one down. We are a minute away from the final whistle here, and Occidental can pack their bags for the Sweet 16. Gianne is offside on that ball from Carr. Blank will drive this one forward. He's had a fantastic career here in San Antonio, Peter Blank. And credit to him for continuing to drive the Tigers forward tonight in what has ultimately been an unfortunate losing effort.
No
Occidental,
doubt. No doubt.
credit to him. Congratulations to the Occidental Tigers, their first berth in the Sweet 16 ever. Coach Rod LaFury has done a fantastic job here tonight. And when presented with the opportunity, which they earned, give them credit, they've done their best to take advantage of it. 2023, it's Occidental to the Sweet 16. Occidental 4, Trinity 1 is your final score here in San Antonio. In the Tiger Derby, it is the Californian Tigers who take it. Coach McGinley and LaFleury share an embrace and a couple of words as the head coaches share a mutual respect between two teams who wanted to play the game the right way. And Occidental came out on top tonight. Simple as that. Trinity gave it their all, and credit to them for not giving up and fighting on. But CH, in the end, it's Occidental who advance.
Yeah, Callum, you spoke extremely well. I have no qualms with the result. I only have qualms with the circumstances, and unfortunately for all of us, it was a correct decision on a red card, and we weren't able to see what could have been. And to me, that is the biggest problem that I have, and it's unfortunate for both teams, both fans, at least in my opinion. Occidental played an unbelievable couple of games here this weekend, and I just wish that we could have been able to see an 11 against 11, and that is no, as I've said, that is no shot at anyone. It's just one of those things that I would have loved, absolutely loved, to see 11 against 11 with these guys, because they played extremely well, and they were and are very deserving. I just wish we could have seen something different. That's all.
And as you see the Tiger players hugging and embracing, nothing but keeping their heads high, credit to them. They gave it their all. One of those things, that's why we play this game. That's how this game goes. But I'll say this, credit to both teams in a game that could have become chippy under the circumstances. Played pretty much throughout with first-class attitudes from both sides. No nonsense, no funny business. And credit to both Trinity and Occidental for playing that fair game, both after the ultimate same prize. But on this night, it's Occidental who take it home. From two former Trinity alums, we hope that we were fair and unbiased in as down the middle as we could be for you. Congratulations to the Occidental Tigers. It's been a rainy weekend here in San Antonio, but the berth in the Sweet 16 heads home to sunny California with Occidental. For all of our first-class production team here on the Tiger Network, for our director Josh Mojagemba, for CH Farmer to my right, I've been Callum Squires. Thank you for all of your support of Trinity men's soccer throughout the 2023 season. It means the world to everyone within this program. And we'll see you again in 2024 and try and do it all again. Congratulations, Occidental. Good night from San Antonio. Stay well.